All righty, good evening, y'all. I'd like to thank everyone for being here this evening. I'd like to call this meeting for the, for City Council for December 17th to order. And I call on Ward 4 for the invocation.
Bow your heads and let's go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this evening. Thank you for this day. Let us be not only as leaders of the community, but also servants of the community. Guide us and direct us, helping us make good decisions, thoughtful decisions, what's best for our community. And as we go forward in this holiday season, Christmas, New Year, just remind us that your Son is the reason for the season. Bless us and keep us and forgive us when we fail you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Stand for the pledge, please.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'll call on the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Francis.
Here.
Councilmember Smiley.
Here.
Councilmember Marsh.
Here.
Councilmember Crabtree.
Here.
Councilmember Craig. Here. Councilmember Martin.
Here.
Councilmember Wilcox.
Here.
Councilmember Meek.
Here.
Councilmember Limburger.
Here.
Councilmember Keel.
Here.
Councilmember Bell.
Here.
Councilmember Handy.
Present.
And everyone is present. We have a quorum.
All righty. Item 5, awards and recognitions. We have none of them this evening. I'll move into item 6, public comments. If anybody's in the audience would like to come to the podium and speak, please come up, speak. All righty, seeing none, we'll move into item 6, mayor's comments. Got a few to make, not a lot. But before we do, I'd like to hand out these plaques that I have to give out. I'd like to present this plaque to Miss Natasha Sophia Francis, Ward 1, for her hard work and dedication to the city of Hopkinsville from January 1, 2023 to December 30th, 2024. Bruce, this is the main reason I really want to make sure you was here tonight. Come on down, Mr. Bruce Smiley, for your hard work and dedication from January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2024. Thank you, sir. Mr. Doug Wilcox, would you please come up and receive your plaque for January 1, 2023, December 24 for your hard work and dedication. Me and this gentleman talk on the telephone a whole lot. I appreciate everything you do, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. I know this gentleman right here has worked hard for the city council, airport board, and other things. Thank you, Terry, for all you've done for January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2024. So you can get back down south in the sand. I hope you enjoy yourself. Didn't want to stay where I wanted it to. Miss Jamie Lineberg, would you please come up front and receive yours from January 1, 2023 to 24 for your hard work and dedication to the city. I believe it. Steve Keel, from January 1, 2023 to December 31, 2024, being on council with me. I appreciate your hard work and dedication. If this man got you on the phone, you never got off. And Matthew Hamby, that January 1, 2023 to December 31st, 2024. Gentlemen, call me, talk to me. We'd work it out. We'd talk about it and really work our way through it. And I appreciate everything you would do. Thank you. All righty, I'd like to say thank you to my council. We've had a very interesting 2 years together. It has been a lot of fun. We've had our ups and downs. We definitely had our disagreements on that, but that's okay too. We all agreed on it. We'd really all be in trouble. So I appreciate your help, your guidance, and how we move the city forward. And that was the main thing, cities first. And that's what we've always remembered. The city of Hopkinsville is always first, no matter what we do or how we felt, the city was first. And I'd like to say thank you all. Thank you. All right. I'd like to say thanks to Parks and Recs and Public Works for their great job at the parade and the tree lighting. We had a great time with it. We enjoyed it. Hey, it was a little cold, a little wet, but we got through it on that. I'd like everybody to know the season's not over with, but remember, let's shop local. Let's remember the hardworking people in this town that's got stores and employees. Please remember to shop local on that. We will do the new swearing in on December the 30th at 5 o'clock right here, if you could make it. I'd like for everyone to remember, we will be closed the 24th and 25th at the City Hall and December 31st and January 1. I'd like for everybody to remember everything that's going on at the Alhambra. We got the Sons of Serendipity on December the 19th. So please come up to Alhambra and enjoy that. And if you can get out here tonight, we can get up there and see the Army Band playing tonight too. So we can slide out here quickly if we get the job done in time to get to do what we got to do. All righty. I will move out of Mayor's comments into reports and from officers, committee, and guest speakers. And I call on Derek Watson to come to the microphone so we can have a conversation.
Good evening. Thank you, Mayor Knight, members of council, distinguished guests. It's a pleasure to be with you tonight to talk about our newly finished clean water plant. In case you missed it, on December the 5th, we actually had a ribbon cutting and a dedication. And Mayor, it was cold that day, but the sun was shining and we had a great turnout. We sincerely appreciate everybody who made their way out in order to celebrate. Just got one final video for you, and this is actually the project, our completion video, and just goes over the different elements of the project. The project is fully in service now. You may recall the plant is at 128 Gary Lane. It was originally constructed in 1983, and with this project, we essentially demoed just about all of the structures from the 1983 plant. We had subsequently done a 1995 renovation and expansion, and we were able to reuse some of those structures in our project, but we also, in doing the project, we actually expanded the plant. So as of now, we went from 6 million gallons per day, which was the 1995 expansion, to now we're 9 million gallons per day. And I'm pleased to say that the project was a success. The different treatment strategies that we designed for the use were specifically targeted because we knew in our upcoming permit that they were going to write some new limits into our permit that we would not have been able to have passed those limits if we had not done the project. The other part to that as well is again, going back to the 1983 plan as well as the 1995 structures. They were end of life cycle. Several of those systems had just failed and completely had stopped working. And so doing this project was of the utmost importance to us. And so as you can see, just some of the structures there, we're very proud of this plant. I'm going to predict that this plant will be written up in plenty of clean water magazines, just simply because it's probably the newest plant in the state of Kentucky, and with the newest technology as well. So we're extremely excited about it and very proud of everything that we were able to do in our project. Again, every structure that remained was completely rebuilt. Again, a lot of them had come to the end of their life cycle, and all of the mechanical or electrical pieces that were serving a lot of the existing structures were completely replaced. Again, we expanded the plant to a 9 million gallon treatment, and it has a 24 million gallon per day hydraulic capacity. So with that, in these master planning for these very large scale water sewer project, there are three things you need. Vision, first thing is vision. The vision for this project was actually started back in 2008. And while it takes 16 years to do a project like this, I know that's a long time, but we actually spend most of our time waiting on the funding. So once we're eligible for the funding and we take the funding, we execute on it. The next thing is leadership. This council and the HWA Board of Commissioners has always looked to the future and understands the importance of investing in our community. Again, the clean water plant has a capacity of 9 million gallons per day and will serve Hopkinsville through the year 2058 and beyond. And the last thing is career professionals. Tonight, I'm joined by several members of HWA who, as water professionals, are dedicated to always producing a great product and providing outstanding customer service. But tonight, we're joined by one person who's very special. That someone began his career in October of 1994. So as of now, has worked for us for more than 30 years. His total contributions in the form of engineering, construction, operations, he has been directly involved in over $200 million worth of capital construction projects. Those projects have been responsible for delivering to our community and to your home over 60 billion gallons of drinking water, over 32 billion gallons of clean water, and HWA has won 23 drinking water awards and 4 clean water awards. So Mayor Knight, this individual has 45 years of service to the city of Hopkinsville, 30 years with HWEA doing water and sewer projects, and then another 14 to 15 years with Howard K. Bell Consulting Engineers, who were consultants to the city of Hopkinsville as well. So I think I'm pretty safe in saying that there's nobody around today who has had more influence and more commitment to building the water and sewer systems that serve all of us in the city of Hopkinsville than our very own William David Bubba Blake.
There we go. He's Bubba to me. I can tell you right now, ever since I was a little kid playing over in his mom and daddy's backyard in baseball, him and Johnny been raising and taking care of me, chasing me around the ballpark. David, I want to say in appreciation to your dedication, years of service with the city of Hopkinsville, congratulations on your well-deserved retirement. I'm going to present you the key to the city of Hopkinsville. Thank you so much. I really
I'll give you somebody's number before I leave.
Okay, please.
Thank you.
Owners. Tonight, we're bringing you a request, and this is not a planning commission initiated request. This is a request from John Heltsley Farms, for the original zoning of property. 366 acre tract. This is located to east portion of Hopkinsville. It abuts Russellville Road as well as Martin Luther King bypass. Property is east of the airport. I think most of you would be familiar with this property, having driven these major roads. Property owner has requested 3 different zoning districts for this property. An I-1 district, which abuts the existing I-1 district, a total of, I believe, 111 acres. AT district, which was the district recently created by council as part of a text amendment, 241 acres, as well as 14 acres arterial commercial district, which is located at the corner of Martin Luther King and Russellville Road. Planning Commission provided notification. Just some property photos for you. We provided property notification to adjoining property owners, newspaper, as well as posting the property. We conducted a public hearing in October. At the request of a letter we received from the county judge executive, as well as a request from the airport, we extended that public hearing to also the month of November. So the commission took comments in both October and November on this request. We did have comments from the property owner applicant. We also had comments from the airport. Some concerns that were raised by the airport regarding use as well as potential height in proximity to the airport. The commission reviewed the request and found that it met the statutory requirements for zoning of property and is therefore recommending it to you. In looking at this request, some factors that we considered: one, the industrial district that is being requested is adjacent to a longstanding industrial district and would be a continuation of a district that is already in place. The AT district, which is a district we created for larger tracts that may be transitional, could be residential, commercial in the future. This property appeared to meet the criteria for that and was ideally suited. The commercial district at the corner is adjacent to arterial roadways and meets the siting criteria for commercial property. Future land use map for this area shows this as mixed use as well as transitional. We believe the applicant's request met those criteria and was in agreement with the comprehensive plan. 2 comments to make. We do take seriously the concerns of the airport as it relates to both height and use. However, at this time, being unzoned, there are no height restrictions locally, nor any setback requirements, nor any use requirements. The applicant property owner has voluntarily requested a zoning which will place height restrictions, setback, and use restrictions on this property. The other part, which is also important as we review site plans, is this property would be subject to review by the Airport Zoning Commission, which administers state requirements on height. So anything that is developed would also have to meet both local requirements once zoned, in addition to state requirements. And the way our zoning ordinance is structured, we don't issue local permits until an applicant satisfies both local requirements as well as state requirements. So this is coming to you with a favorable recommendation from the commission. If any council members, mayor, have any questions, be happy to answer.
Any question for Tom right now?
I think you probably answered everything in terms of elevation, slope, and RPZ
Yes, sir.
restrictions. So if it's in compliance with FAA and also state regulations, that should be in pretty good shape for.
Yes, sir. And those requirements will kick in when a development proposal is presented. At this time, there is not a development proposal for this property that has been submitted. But what takes place is once a property owner chooses to develop a property, they submit site plans to us. We review them for local requirements. We also solicit comments from other regulatory agencies. So as part of that local permitting process, we help to ensure that they meet local requirements as well as the state requirements in place.
And just to follow up, you may have already mentioned this. So if an individual then wants to purchase part of the land, then what we do, the local and the state, then we evaluate each individual's plans before you allow them to have a positive nod on the whole thing so it doesn't affect the airport.
Yes, sir. We don't regulate transfers of property, but we do regulate development of property. So if someone comes in, they purchase the property and they say, I want to build something, let's say it's in the I-1 district, I want to build a warehouse. They would be required to submit site plans to us. We would review those to local requirements. We would also send a copy to Airport Zoning Commission as well as the other departments of city government, other departments. And they would have to demonstrate compliance with all of those standards.
We need a
More questions for
motion
Tom?
on this. So I'll make a motion. We're going to send it to clerk, or
Yes.
we'll make a motion, send it to clerk.
Second.
Got a motion by Steve, second by Travis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All righty.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Tom. Appreciate that. All righty, we move into our monthly financial statement. Miss Melissa Clayton, come on up.
Good evening,
Good evening.
Mayor, council members.
Merry
It's my
Christmas.
pleasure to bring you guys the monthly financial report for the month of November. And if I can make this work. All right, so we'll start off with our interfund transfers. We had 4 interfund transfers in the month of November. One to Kiwanis for Warm the Children, the Penny Royal Arts Council for $4,500. The mayor was generous enough with the city contributions and to round our total donation up to $75,000 to the United Way. So he kind of rounded us up to hit that mark. It's the most our employees have ever given to the United Way's 2025 campaign. And then also we did one to the city of Madisonville for a partnership for ICSC for $5,000. So total interfund transfers for the month of November was $13,069, making our year-to-date interfund transfers $26,069, leaving us a remaining balance of $73,931. Our payroll tax revenue for the month, through 5 months was $9,564,754, and that is an increase in equivalent payroll for the year of 12.7%. Our property tax, our collections so far through October and November is $5,186,660. You guys remember I left property tax off last month, so that's October and November together. We've only had property tax going for 2 months. Our insurance premium tax for the year, it also caught up for the year. Our collections so far are $3,698,054, which is a 24.7% increase over last year through 5 months. Our business licenses year to date are 599,292, which is 23.5% of our budget. So we'll look at our general fund overall. We started the year with prior year encumbrances of $348,328. Year to date revenue collected is $25,165,321. Our actual year to date expenses are $21,682,036, giving us positive revenue over expenses of $3,831,613. We do have current encumbrances at the end of the month of $117,507. So our total revenue over expenses and encumbrances is $3,714,106. When we compare that number to our number last year, we are a little bit ahead. Last year we had revenue over expenses of $3,028,817, and this year we're at $3,483,285. So we'll look at our municipal road aid fund. We started the year with $37,002 in encumbrances. We've collected $323,364. We have spent $699,356. So we have more expenses than we have revenue in the amount of $338,990. And we have $6,655 worth of encumbrances. Our capital fund year to date, we had prior year encumbrances of $348,328. We have transferred so far $580,571, and we have spent $614,049. So we have positive revenue over expenses of $314,850 in the capital fund. We are getting ready to do that second quarter transfer in December. So we'll look at our departmental expenses now. Administration, if all of our expenses were divided equally over 12 months, we should be at 41.7%. Our department should be at 41.7%. So admin's at 39.9, the tax department's at 41.1, information technology's at 47.8, and legislative is at 44%. Our public safety, police department's at 42.8% of their budget. ECC's at 45%. The fire department's at 43.4%. EMS is at 46%. And then fire prevention is at 42.1%. In our public works area, public works admin's at 39.6%. City maintenance is at 41.8%. Fort Campbell contracts is at 26.2%. Service center's at 42%. Parks and Recs at 45.4%. The Sportsplex is at 31.1%, and the Aquatic Center is at 60.9%. So overall, the city general fund is at 41.5%, so right on budget for our expenses. Municipal road aid is at 72.6%, and the capital fund is at 22.7%. We'll look at our cash fund balance. Cash fund balance unaudited as of June 30th was $17,425, plus our year-to-date revenues minus our year-to-date expense gives us our cash fund balance as of November 30th, $21,100,710, less our encumbrances. Available cash is $20,983,203. Our available cash on October 31st was $18,773,164. So when we take our available cash and we subtract out all of our reserve accounts, our capital equipment replacement reserve, our building maintenance reserve, and our future pension reserve, our unassigned cash fund balance is $18,515,399, and that is 42.4% of our adjusted operating budget. As we compare that with last year, we are running a little bit ahead of where we were last year at this time through 5 months. And I would be happy to answer any questions you guys might have about the monthly financial report.
Thank you, Ms. Clayton.
Thank you.
All righty. We'll move into item 9, approval of minutes for the December 3rd, 2024 meeting.
So moved. Second.
All right, any discussion?
Motion.
Second.
We got Don and Travis.
To the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky, Newcomb Oil Company LLC. Whereas the City of Hopkinsville has declared it desirable to annex certain unincorporated property known as Newcomb Oil Company LLC into the City of Hopkinsville city limits. And whereas the subject property is adjacent to the city's current boundaries and is urban in character, suitable for development for urban purposes. And whereas Newcomb Oil Company LLC gave prior written consent to annexation, copies of which are on file at the Christian County Courthouse. Now therefore be it ordained by the City Council of the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky as follows. Section 1, pursuant to KRS 410 and 81A.412, Hopkinsville City Council hereby annexes the following unincorporated area of Christian County into the city limits of Hopkinsville. A portion of land consisting of approximately 4.106 acres, more particularly described in Exhibit A attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference, is fully set forth. Hopkinsville City Council hereby declares the service delivery plan and city taxes will be in effect on the first day after publication and notice as required in KRS 81A.470 and KRS 81A.475 have been met. Section 2, if any section, subsection, sentence, clause, or phrase of this ordinance is held unconstitutional or otherwise invalid, such infirmity shall not affect the validity of the remaining portions of this ordinance. Section 3, any and all existing ordinances inconsistent with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 4, this ordinance shall take effect after its passage and publication according to law.
Need a motion?
Motion.
Second. Don, Bruce? All righty, any questions? I'll call the clerk to call the roll.
Councilmember Handy?
Yes.
Councilmember Francis?
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley?
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh?
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree?
Yes.
Councilmember Craig?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Wilcox?
Yes.
Councilmember Meek?
Yes.
Councilmember Lomberger?
Yes.
Councilmember Keel?
Yes.
Councilmember Bell?
Yes.
And that passes on second reading.
Okay, thank you. Righty. Municipal Order 45-2024 L&N Depot Property.
Hopkinsville City Council hereby authorizes the mayor to sign the attached purchase agreement in the amount of $175,000 between the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky and Railmark Holdings, Inc. and Railmark Foundation Limited.
Motion.
Second.
Got Travis and I've got Amy. Any discussion? I think so. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I believe we're going to see a lot of good things right there.
Sir.
All righty, Municipal Order 46-2024 Kitchen Food Company Grant Agreement.
Hopkinsville City Council hereby rescinds Municipal Order 41-2024 and authorizes the mayor to sign the attached revised grant agreement in the amount of $4,500,000 between the City of Hopkinsville, Kentucky and Kitchen Food Company Limited.
So moved.
Second.
Travis and Amy. Any discussion?
I just want to hear a refresher.
Okay, Doug, I'll bring that to you.
You'll recall that you have already approved one grant agreement. And this revision, there are several changes, and the main changes on page 3 on the installment payment date. The first installment payment, or half of the grant amount, is paid upon closing in January. The second installment payment is to be paid 1 year after that date, so long as the grantees contractors continue to make progress on the construction of the project. The change from the last grant agreement is the second installment was to be paid upon the company reaching 350 jobs in occupational tax revenue. So another change is that the Industrial Foundation, in order to provide the security for the 350 jobs, has agreed to provide a mortgage on the Denso property that it owns. And that mortgage will not terminate until the company reaches the occupational tax revenue consistent with 350 jobs. So it provides us the same security there on that second installment.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Any more discussion? I call the clerk to call the roll on this, please.
Councilmember Handy,
No.
Councilmember Francis,
Aye.
Councilmember Smiley,
Yes.
Councilmember Marsh,
Yes.
Councilmember Crabtree,
No.
Councilmember Craig,
Yes.
Councilmember Martin,
Yes.
Councilmember Wilcox.
Yes.
Councilmember Meek,
Yes.
Councilmember Lineberger,
No.
Councilmember Keel,
Yes.
Councilmember Bell,
Yes.
and that does pass.
All righty. Thank y'all very much for this. It's been a long last 2.5 months. We've been talking about this, and I know everybody's had a lot of hard work in the Industrial Foundation. The Carter and me, we've been on the phone with Doug and lawyers constantly. Thank y'all for everything y'all do. Thank y'all. Thank y'all, council. All righty, we will turn the page here to Executive Order 28-2024, Economic Development Council Committee.
The mayor hereby creates an Economic Development Committee to study issues relating to economic development projects and provide recommendations regarding policies and procedures concerning economic development. Economic Development Committee members shall be as follows: Councilmember Jason Bell, Councilmember Chuck Crabtree, Councilmember Don Marsh, and City Attorney H. Douglas Willen. And this does need a motion in a second.
So moved.
Second.
Steve and Jamie. Any discussion? All righty. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. All righty. Item 13, other. Anybody got any other business we'd like to talk about tonight? All righty. UK must be on. All right. Council member comments number 14. Okay.
So I just want to thank the collegiality and the cooperation that we've had, that I've experienced with each and every one of you. It's a pleasure working with the city attorney, Mayor Troy and Brittany, and everyone here. You all have gifted me with a huge amount of knowledge with the inner workings of city and parliamentary procedure. So I wish you all a very Merry Christmas and thank you for all the contributions you've made to my life.
Thank you. Any, Steve?
Just real quick, I'd like to thank, coming off this seat, pretty much, everybody's not in this room tonight, and that's our city employees. Because when the public calls one of us about a pothole or drain issue, or I think I've called Jason a time or two about somebody wandering around somewhere they shouldn't be. No offense to these guys, but Jason doesn't show up, and Mike Perry and Dave Herndon doesn't show up. It's just the folks that are out there every day doing what I call the grind, the 9 to 5, or in Public Works case, the 6 to whenever, 4 to whenever. I will say I have seen Dave drive a snowplow once, but no, in all honesty, it's the city employees on the little things that make most of us up here look good, because all we do is make a phone call, and that's pretty much the hardest thing we do when it comes to getting something done. I'll say this, the real work of this job is kind of in some of the stuff we just passed tonight, months of back and forth. That's what this job is. But it's the EMTs, the firefighters, police officers, public works, the support staff upstairs, and the admin that really keep most of us looking, as I like to say, looking a lot smarter than we really are. And those are the folks that really make this city go round. It doesn't matter who sits in these chairs. It's those folks out there every day. And from somebody that's sat in this seat for 4 years. I just want to say thank you to that group because they've kind of made this old boy look a little better than he really is, and I appreciate that. And of course, all the department heads, I've worn y'all out for 4 years, and thanks for not running me off. So thank you for everything.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mayor, I'd just like to say thank you to the agencies and the staff that I've worked with. Sometimes we butt heads, but at the end of the day, it's business and we all are here for the betterment of the city, for the citizens. And so to each and every one of you and your staff, thank you very much.
Matthew?
I'll keep it brief, but I'd echo what they said. Thank you to the city employees. I'm looking at Brittany. Brittany's been a wealth of knowledge coming into this role. Doug, Willen, you've been a wealth of knowledge, so I thank both of you. And just looking around the room, there's so many people that I could thank, but it's just been a tremendous honor to serve. I appreciate everybody sitting around here. Steve, just all of you all. We bump heads a lot, but anything to move this city forward, that's what it's all about. So we don't always see eye to eye, but that's the beauty of our democracy. We can agree to disagree and still be friends after. But to the new council that will be coming in, I'd just like to say to them, put people before party, policy before politics, and I think you all will do well. And to those that are sticking around, continue to do what you do. And it's been an honor to serve. Thank you all.
Thank you, Matt. Anyone else?
Merry
Okay.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. There we go. All righty. I got one more thing to say, and that is Merry Christmas and Happy New Year's to everyone. I appreciate everyone working with us. I appreciate my A team because I do have an A team here at the city. All the departments are an A team. All you got to do is go ask them to do something. It's okay, Mayor, what do you need it and where do you want it? And that's what we get from our departments, from police, fire, public works, even up in finance. You know, they're on the job anytime. I think they get tired of me. Poor Doug, I call him all hours of the night when it pops in my head, but thank you all for everything you do. Yeah, I doubt it. But Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Let's keep the main thing, and that's Jesus Christ in the season. Thank you, and I will call on Ward 4. Close.
So in closing, I've got a couple of quotes. When in doubt, observe and ask questions. When certain, observe at length and ask many more questions. And when everyone agrees, someone is not thinking. George Patton.
All right.
And that, Mayor, is a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.